Hi, my name is Rachel and welcome to How to Connect to Feronia. Feronia is an ancient Roman goddess of fertility and the forests. She was considered a protector and a guardian of the woodland and also the woodland flowers. She was also connected to Libertas, freedom in ancient Latin, and the idea of freedom, and she was also considered the protector and the guardian of freed slaves. She can support you in helping you to feel a lightness in your whole being. So, finding reasons for joy, finding pathways to joy, and allowing that to be present in your body, giving yourself permission to actually embody joy. She can also help you in deepening your holistic connection to woodland and to forests. So she was a guardian of this place, and she is a great guide and protector to have with you if you want to deepen your holistic connection to the woodland beings, the woodland creatures, animals, flora, fauna, and if you want to create ceremony or ritual in the woodland. So here are my top 3 tips for connecting to her. So my first tip is woodland bathing. So what is woodland bathing? This is something that you could do with her as an activity, a ritual, or a ceremony. And it means just having a more and deeper holistic connection when you're out in the woodland or the forest. So you may go there anyway for recreational activities such as walking your dog or meeting friends or a picnic. But if you're going to bathe in the woodland, it's about being fully present. You may want to use this location for meditation, for ceremonial ritual or gatherings, but also just on a kind of a beginner or just a simpler way. You can just connect to your breathing, switching off technology, placing your hands upon your body, touching the trees, and being fully present there. Being mindful and engaging the senses of what's around you and really connecting to the woodland on a deeper level. A place like a temple, or perhaps if you were to go to a spa, where you can do that just in the woodland around you. So she is a great guide and guardian to call in when you are in the woodland. She was considered a protector of that place. You may want to connect to her in that place by creating ritual or ceremony, or maybe meditating with her. Engage your senses while you're there, and in particular, you may want to bring your focus to the woodland flowers, which she particularly was a guardian of. Notice their colours, notice their texture, their smells when they're around seasonally. Maybe you go to the same forest or the same woodland, but you're going to notice the seasons changing through the flowers, the different flowers that come. Engage with them, learn about them, sit with them, and find a way to enjoy woodland bathing with Feronia. My second tip is actually to connect with one of the woodland flowers in particular, and this is a sacred flower to her, and it is the cyclamen. Some people also call it cyclamen, whichever you prefer, I don't mind. So the cyclamen was considered a sacred plant to Feronia, and in general, the ancient Romans believed that it did have medicinal and ritual qualities. So it was able to ward off evil. It was able to increase or bring forth love and affection. And it was also connected to medicinal ways in that it was believed that it could increase potency, fertility, and by some was considered an aphrodisiac. Of course, I can't comment on those things, but do go and research them if you want to know more about cyclamen as a medicinal plant. As a flower essence, which is the spirit of the plant, which we can use as a high vibrational remedy, cyclamen is about opening the heart. It's about a generosity of the heart. So it's for those who feel that they are challenged in giving or receiving or sharing love. Or if you find yourself in that position and you feel like your heart is closed up, that perhaps love can't be accessed or shared or experienced. It's going to help with that opening of the heart so you can connect to it as a flower essence. Now, it is one of her sacred flowers, and it is particularly connected to her sacred time. So it blooms from September to December. Her feast day is November the 13th. And during this time, you will see the cyclamen blooming around in the woodland or perhaps in your garden. So it's a really good way and portal for connecting with her is to go and connect with the cyclamen. So you may have it in your garden, or you may want to go into the woodland. You may want to go and be with it and meditate, particularly on the 13th of November. Take it as offering perhaps for her, plant it in your garden. You may want to paint it or craft it or crochet it. So somehow bring it onto an altar space, maybe even through a photograph or a drawing. You may want to wear her sacred colors that are those of the cyclamen, which is green, white and pink. You may want to take the flower essence on this day or throughout this period from September to December, your normal 3 drops 3 times a day as a holistic practice and a way to health and well-being. My third tip is to connect and to understand deeper the idea of freedom. So she was considered a goddess of Libertas, freedom. So slaves, if they went to her temple, could be offered freedom. Once slaves were freed, she was considered to particularly protect them and guide them on their future journey now as a freed person. So she asks us to consider, what is freedom? What does freedom uniquely mean to you? And how can you embody it? And also, how can you support it? Firstly, in yourself, so knowing what it means to you. And then when you have a deep understanding of it, what does it mean to propagate, to encourage, to support and sustain freedom in the world for the animals, for the people, for humanity, for energy, for love, whatever freedom means for you. So, for example, freedom for me, the most important place for me to have freedom is in my service, in my career, in the work that I do. Hence why self-employment suits me so much. So I can be creative in alignment with my cycles, that of nature and that of my menstrual cycle, of my body. For other people, freedom may actually mean being in employment. They need the structure and the discipline and the management so that they then have some of the responsibility taken from them, so they have the freedom to think. So it can vary depending on you. So I have some journal prompts to help you consider and to deepen into your understanding of what freedom is. I'm going to say them out loud now, but also I'm going to write them down in the description below of this video. So you may want to get a pen and paper if you're going to write them now. The first journal prompt is, what opinions, judgments, or limitations have I kept myself enslaved to? So examples of that are, I'm not good enough for love. Or money is bad and makes people evil. This can be one that stops people from being rich and therefore not sharing that richness. I will never be happy until I achieve X, Y, or Z. So how are these keeping you confined? And identify the limiting viewpoints that you have within yourself. The second journal prompt is, what does it mean for me to be free? Or another way of putting this, what do I require to feel truly free? So like I said, I'll write them down below. Do journal on them. If you want to share anything, then you can in the comments below, or you can contact me on Instagram or Facebook. You can message me and discuss that with me, share your reflections. You may want to do so in my private Facebook group as well. So I hope this has supported you. If you want to know more about Roman gods and goddesses, of course, check out this playlist, but also check out my book, Pantheon the Romans, which is all about the gods and goddesses of ancient Rome, the religious beliefs of the Roman people and how they celebrated and worshipped their gods, And also I have chapters on how to connect to the Roman pantheon yourself. I also have a guided meditation where you can journey with Feronia yourself, which I guide you with audio and music into a relaxing journey where you can fully receive her healing and her wisdom and meet her. And you'll find that in my membership. The links for all of these things are down below for you in the comments, so do check them out. Thank you for listening, and I do hope that this supports, inspires and nourishes you, and I send you many blessings for your continued journey with Goddess Feronia.